CT200U. I've had this one for a couple years. Done the performance stage 1 kit. I put the performance 18 pound valve springs in it, and kind of besides doing any more inside the motor, that's kind of all I'm getting out of it. So 34 miles an hour is its top speed right now, and I'm ready to put on a torque converter. So the torque converter came from Go Power Sports, and they sell this entire kit. And this kit's just a bolt-on kit. Comes with spacers to lift the motor up, and then the plate's going to sit right here. Change that. Plate's going to sit right here, just like that, and it's just going to bolt on. You might have to change the length of your spring or your chain, and then I'm not sure if the chain guard will work. We'll see how that goes with it, but the main test of this is to see if we're going to get any more top end speed. I know we're going to get performance on the takeoff, because it's a torque converter. You're going to get way more takeoff and torque with it. But yeah, so we're going to start tearing this down, switch out the torque converter, and then we're going to do another test ride and see if I got any more top speed out of it. I'm definitely expecting more performance on takeoff, that's for sure. But I'm not sure about the performance on the top end speed. 34 miles an hour, I kind of like to go a little bit faster. And the next step is, if I don't get any more speed out of it, probably throw in a 212 in here, just because the 212 gets a little bit more RPMs out of it, so you can get a higher speed. So, all right, we're going to start with that and get going on this, and hopefully it goes smooth. Okay, so we got the clutch off, the clutch assembly, I guess. It's a weird setup that they have. They have two chains to run for the Coleman CT200. But Go Power Sports, with the kit that you get, they actually give you spacers to lift up the motor. So that's going to be the next thing to do, is that we're going to use these spacers here. And we're going to lift up the motor. I'm not going to do it, I'm going to do it later, but my suggestion is to paint these at least black or something, because they're going to rust out pretty quick, just because they're just bare metal. So if you do get the kit, I'd paint them. I'm not going to, because I'm trying to get this done, pretty quick today. But yes, I would actually paint those before I put them on. So we're going to raise up the motor, put these guys underneath, and then the motor should be in the right position to put the torque converter on. So that's what our next step is. Flies are everywhere. What the hell? All right. So we rose up the motor with those spacers. So it raises about I'd say probably 1.5 inches. It's supposed to give you clearance to be able to put the plate on. Whew, that is a tight fit. I think it'll still work, but man, that is a tight fit.
So that was 13 millimeters, right?
Yeah. Okay. There we go. Looks good. Gives it that clearance. That's why you want to raise it that 1.5 inches or so. It's because it's. I mean, that's scraping my finger as I go through right here. So you got to raise it up. Even though you do have adjustments here, you don't have much room for error between the muffler or the header and then the frame here. So always check your drivers This one actually has some sharp pieces here. You can always just kind of pull them off, but this sharp edge, clean that up. You don't want it to tear up your belt.
Wouldn't it take a good bit of pressure to tear up the belt?
It would. The belts are really thick. That's a great question. But when you're using, this is 6.5 horsepower, and it's like 1.5 foot-pounds of torque less than the 212. Actually, I think it's a little bit more than that. But it's not as much torque as a 212, but it can still do quite a bit of damage. So this is why you would go through Go Power Sports. If you just go and get a standard 30 series torque converter, it's not going to come with this piece here. This piece is actually made to go onto the main shaft of the 196cc, and then it's also made to fit in for the 30 series torque converter. So standard 30 series torque converter does not come with this adapter here. So one thing is that you do want to make sure you have a key for it. That way you get the keyway and it stays locked in. I'm going to assume that Go Power Sports gave you the key, and they did. So your keyway goes right in here. Put your adapter on. I may never get that back off. Okay, so Go Power Sports also gives you these spacers. I'm going to put these spacers here. I used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. And that just puts it lined up to where it's not hitting these bolts here. And you're also lining up your belt to run straight and true with the driven part of the torque converter. So driver, driven. All right. This guy in real quick. Just like that. Alright, so that should be it. And then when you put on your belt, you're going to actually... So, any 30 series, you're going to have a curved part, you're going to have the straight part. Curved part goes on the outside. Just like that. Come on. There it is. There you go. Take the other washer that Go Power Sports gave you. Goes on just like that. Slap your screw on and then you're good to go. So let's keep moving with it and get the chain on and everything. Okay, so we got the torque converter mounted. We got the chain. That was a little bit tricky to get that adjusted. And the way they do this with the kit from Go Power Sports, you can actually still be able to use your chain guard, which I actually think that's quite nice to be able to still use your chain guard. So let's see here. I'm gonna get it lined up, right? Thing keeps on trying to tip over on me. It drives me crazy. Alright, so with that chain guard on there and everything, you still have enough room to have it on with the kit. It's always good to still keep that kind of stuff on there because you don't want to run into the chain breaking off and hitting your leg. So another thing that they gave, and I actually was kind of disappointed. I thought I was going to get a black one. But they gave you the cover, and you'll have to cut into it. You have to cut into the cover here. You've got these little notches here, but you'll have to cut into the cover for the chain to ride through. I'm not going to put that one on just yet. I'm not sure I like it being blue. I'm not sure I like that.
We may spray paint it in the future, change its color.
We may. I just don't know if the spray paint will stick to that very well. We'll have to sand it and everything else to get the spray paint to stick to it. For right now, we're just going to stick with that. It's ready to go. Just want to go and check everything, make sure everything's tight, and then we'll do a test run to see how it is, and then do that top speed again. So, we'll see. Okay.
How hard was it to put on the oil catch can on the
It only takes a minute.
Freedom?
It only takes a minute. So we're going to be putting on an oil catch can. The main reason is because of this right here. You see right there, you got this filter. This filter right here just starts spewing oil all over. And the best way to stop that, especially if you're doing trail riding, perfect, awesome. When you're doing trail riding, is that you want to put an oil catch can on there. So we're going to do that with this unit. I did do a top speed run, and I'll be letting everybody know what that top speed is in just a minute. So for right now, let's get this oil catch can on. It's not going to take too long. I put the blue cover on, even though I don't like it. I put it on because it was hitting my ankle, and that could be unsafe. So, okay, so we're going to mount the oil catch can on the main cover for the flywheel. And to do this, the catch can I want to mount actually right here. So my pull start is in the way. So I just want to move that. So I'm gonna, of course that's not gonna do that. Okay.
Oh, I didn't take that out fully, my bad.
Oh, I just thought all we had to do was cut it. There we go.
Well, that's the trick.
Okay, so I'm gonna actually mount it like this. So your pull start's going to go this way. It's going to be kind of awkward, but what can you do? The Motovox is just like that. Oop. What the heck? Did I go in the wrong one? I went in the wrong one.
Oh, you went in the one that... Oh, no.
No. Here we go. Hang on. Let's change that. There we go.
There we go.
Pay attention, Curtis. Okay. So, don't want to over tighten these. You want it to just, as soon as it starts to throw down some torque, that's all you want.
It's a Wrangler.
And this is just so that I get room here to put the catch can. So, this is the catch can I got. You can get online. I went through eBay. So I'm doing red. It's kind of why the blue cover is bothering me right now. I just need more white. Red, white, and blue. Okay, so we're going to mount it like this. So I'm going to cut 2 holes here and here. We're going to go right in the middle. going to be a little bit of a tight fit.
Tell.
You want that to go in right here. For this one right here, this is actually a gauge, so it's going to show you what your levels are within your oil. So you can tell if it's when it's full.
It's actually really effective.
Oh, come on.
Oh, it got it. There we go.
Okay. Make sure it's straight. Need to be up just slightly. Just like that. Okay, you don't want it to move. I want it to stay stationary. So now the can is actually mounted. So now we can go put it back on the mini bike, and then we'll run our lines. All right, I'm gonna have to reuse my filter. So you run a line from the head of the motor over and then into the oil catch can. So any kind of condensation buildup that you get from the motor is going to run into the catch can, and then you'll watch it and see where your level is. If you get too full, you always undo the screw down here,
Let it pour out.
yeah, and that's how you can drain your oil catch can. So this will keep the motor, so if the motors get real dirty, I'll show you the 420, because we just took that camping and that thing ran great, but it also ran a lot, and we were doing a lot of trail riding with that one. And so when we got back into camp and stuff, I looked and I was like, I almost was worried that I was gonna run out of oil out of the motor because I was spilling so much everywhere. So once you get
Trying to make a beat there?
yeah. I'm gonna have to get a different filter for this, because this was shot anyway. I want something a little bit bigger. So you just attach both of your hose clamps. You look at me like, is he gonna remember this one?
Yeah.
Okay. Attach both of your hose clamps. Just like that. You can get a bigger filter that's just kind of just can sit right on here on that nipple right there. Yes, I said nipple, don't laugh. And then you can just have that filter sitting there. This is going to be a quick setup for it, and that's it. That's how you do the oil catch can for these guys. So I'm going to take off, and I'm going to check out one more time, and then get you that top speed run on it. But since the phone didn't register it, I have to go again. All right, let's see how this works. One thing I want to mention is that they only give you maybe a millimeter of space in between the chain, the driven part of the torque converter, and that plate. And that it just makes me nervous. It shouldn't be like that. It should give it a little bit more space, but. like it's hitting on the inside actually, not the driver part. You know what? I'm just going to let it grind itself into its position, I guess. So I don't think I can get any more out of it.
Let it figure itself out.
Kind of, yeah.
All right.
All right, so we're going to do a top speed run. And see where we go from there. 34 miles an hour last time. Let's see what we run this time. Let me do my helmet.
That's a lot faster. Oh, Lord. That chewed it up.
Okay. So, you can actually see right here the condensation that already builds up in just that quick little ride. I don't know if they can see it, but it's kind of foggy.
They can see it.
But yeah, that right there is definitely a buildup. That's why I'm doing the oil catch can. We take this up to the mountains and we're riding a lot. We're riding a lot, and so when you're heading up to the mountains, it's just a lot of trail riding, and so you're spilling oil all over the place. And it was 34. I did get 4 more miles per hour, so we're looking at 38 miles per hour.
Ooh.
Which that's good. I'm comfortable with that. So you're seeing 38 miles an hour, adding just the torque converter for your top speed. And I felt like if I had a little bit more, I could have probably gone up to maybe 40. So let me show real quick about the oil catch cans. You kind of have to do this with all the Predator motors. So this is the 420. We did so much riding, you can see all the dust and all the oil. But when this thing is, when this thing's riding around like that, it gets a buildup. And so I even did a snorkel for my air intake to keep the dust out of the motor and stuff. So, but yeah, I'm going to throw another one on there and for the oil catch cans. So, I guess that's it for this video. Torque converter for the Coleman CT200. There's a performance that you get out of it. You do get more takeoff. You get a little bit more top end speed considering to the clutch. So hey, that's kind of a plus. So, and also don't forget to do that oil catch can for your motors, any of the motors, the Predator 212s, the CT200, and even the 420. You got to do an oil catch can. So all right, thanks for watching this video. Tune in and subscribe. Thank you.
Holy cow.